Before we begin, subscribe now, hit the like button, and leave a comment, even if it's just a single dot, because tonight's story is not just a legend. It's one of the most terrifying real paranormal cases ever recorded. So, are you brave enough to stay until the end? Imagine waking up in your own home, thinking it's just another day, not knowing that today will be different. Strange things start to happen around you. You try to rationalize them away, blaming drafts, old pipes, or simply a busy imagination. But what if these incidents escalate beyond explanation? What if every room you enter seems to hold its breath, every corner hiding something unseen? That was the reality for the Pritchard family who moved into 30 Mostyn Lane in Pontefract, England in 1968. At first, it was minor inconveniences. A chair overturned, a radio turned on by itself, then more unsettling events occurred. Footsteps in the dead of night, whispers that carried no discernible words. They chalked it up to the age of their new home built in 1734, but soon the boundaries between the mundane and the paranormal blurred. In November 1970, Irene and Roy Pritchards moved into the house with their 3 daughters, Jan, Susan, and Diane. Soon after, strange occurrences began. Water appeared out of nowhere, soaking the carpets. Books fell off shelves, crashing to the floor. Unexplainable shaking filled the house. In the beginning, they dismissed them as quirks of an old house settling. But as the winter deepened, so did the hauntings. One evening, Mrs. Pritchard found a bedroom curtain torn as if pulled by an invisible hand. Their young daughter, Jane, who was 7 at the time, described seeing a dark figure standing in the corner of her room. When she tried to tell her parents, they assumed it was a figment of her imagination. But things took a horrifying turn in January 1971. The family gathered in the living room when they heard chains dragging metal moans. An armchair suddenly flew through the air, crashing towards them. Miraculously, no one was hurt. The haunting had escalated, turning their home into a battleground between the seen and unseen. As the hauntings intensified, the entire town became involved. Irene contacted the local priest, Reverend John Penny, hoping for spiritual intervention. Yet even he was shaken by what he experienced. During his visit, a heavy wardrobe moved on its own. Later, he claimed that the haunting was, quote, beyond anything I had ever known. As days turned into weeks, the Pritchard family faced relentless torment. Moving from one room to another became a frightening journey, each step echoing the question, what if? What if a draft knocks you down? What if a misplaced vase falls and hits you? What if the floor suddenly drops beneath your feet? Living turned into a minefield of uncertainty. Their sanctuary became a haunted labyrinth. The situation reached a critical point when Mrs. Pritchard discovered scratches on her arms and legs. Initially, she assumed they were caused by overzealous cats. However, when similar marks appeared on her husband and daughters, the explanation failed. These weren't the playful pinpricks of a curious pet. They were deliberate, malicious, and otherworldly. The scratches bore witness to an unseen presence, a constant companion in their nightmare. One night, the haunting spiraled into a horrifying spectacle. The youngest daughter, Diane, was in her bed when she was suddenly lifted into the air. The bedclothes flew off, revealing her suspended form screaming in terror. Her parents rushed to her aid, but the sight that greeted them defied explanation. Their 7-year-old daughter was levitating above her bed, thrashing wildly. Panic surged through them. What was happening to her? The unseen force tossed her like a rag doll, slamming her against the bed frame and walls. They watched in horror as she was flung across the room. As if the haunting wanted to make its presence felt, it ended as abruptly as it began. Diane lay on the floor, unharmed but traumatized. The family gathered around her, shaken to their core. Their daughter's terrified eyes still replaying the ordeal. The incident became the talk of the town. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers offered their theories, some blaming the family's recent move, others pointing to the house's long and forgotten history. The Pritchard family grappled with the trauma of that night, questioning the nature of their tormentor. Was it a ghost seeking revenge, a demon playing a cruel game, or something else entirely? The house seemed to revel in their distress, each creak of its old bones echoing their unspoken fears. The warmth of home had been replaced by the chill of terror. Haunted by the experience, the family called upon more than just their faith. Ghost hunters joined the fray, bringing their tools and techniques to 30 Mostyn Lane. Electronic voice phenomenon devices were set up, attempting to capture whispers from beyond the veil. Infrared cameras scanned every nook and cranny, searching for anomalies in temperature or movement. But the ghost remained elusive, taunting them with its unseen presence. Adding to the mystery, reports surfaced of a monk living in the house during the 1700s. Could this be the ghost that tormented them? Or was there something more sinister lurking within the walls? The historical records hinted at a tragic tale, a monk confined to the house, possibly due to a forbidden love affair. Some whispered that he'd met a gruesome end, his body concealed within the house's depths. His restless spirit, forever bound to the place of his despair, now wreaking havoc on the unsuspecting residents. But the haunting didn't confine itself to the Pritchard family. Visitors to the house also experienced inexplicable phenomena. A photographer documented unexplained mists forming in doorways, as if the ghost was parting for their arrival. Others saw the same scratches appearing on their skin, as though the ghost claimed them for its own. Even the ghost hunting team wasn't spared. Cameras malfunctioned, lights flickered ominously, and voices, not their own, whispered in their ears. As the investigation deepened, the team discovered more about the house's past. The tragic story of a monk named Thomas, driven to isolation and rumored to have died under tragic circumstances. Could this be the source of the haunting? Or was there a darker force at play? As the moon cast eerie shadows on the lawn, the investigators huddled in the living room. Suddenly, the air grew freezing cold. Then they saw him, a dark figure emerging from the shadows, taking shape in front of their eyes. It was as if the ghost itself wanted to be seen to reveal its presence. Some captured it on camera, a fleeting glimpse of a face contorted in anguish, of a figure cloaked in darkness. But the ghost vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a chill and a sense of foreboding. Their worst fears were realized when they examined the photographs later. There was no mistaking the apparition. The dark monk stood in the corner of the room, his face a mask of torment. It was clear that the house of 30 Mostyn Lane was not just a dwelling, but a prison for the spirits of the past. Years passed, yet the haunting continued unabated. The house remained empty, its windows vacant, eyes staring out blindly. Local ghost hunters still tread carefully around the property, aware that the past is never truly buried. Some say the ghost remains trapped, eternally seeking solace or perhaps revenge. The legend of the Black Monk of Pontefract lives on, a chilling reminder that some doors are best left unopened. Today, the house stands abandoned, a silent testament to the haunting it once endured. The story of the Black Monk continues to captivate and terrify, blurring the line between fiction and reality. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain: the house at 30 Mostyn Lane holds secrets that should remain buried in the annals of history. Now, imagine this. You're home alone late at night. Suddenly, you hear a noise, a floorboard creaking, a door slamming. You rationalize it away, blaming the wind, old pipes, or an overly active imagination. But then it happens again, and again, and again. You start to feel a presence, a cold spot in the room, a whisper at the edge of your hearing. Your heart pounds. You try to convince yourself it's all in your head. But when you turn around, there in the corner, you see him, the Black Monk, his eyes boring into yours. What do? Do you confront the ghost or run for the hills? Or maybe you freeze, paralyzed by fear, unable to move, unable to scream. I want to know what you would do. Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for even darker, scarier stories every week, because this is only the beginning of the horrors we have in store for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, check out our other videos for more spine-chilling tales and creepypastas. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and don't look in the corners.